the best way I can describe the difference between ChatGPT and Claude is that it's like talking to a really emotionally intelligent adult who actually listens before they respond. And then it also will stop you and ask you clarifying questions with A, B, C answers for you to choose from, or you can type in your answer. So it really helps keep you on track. This is episode 464 of Bella in Your Business. Have you ever tried to eat steak with a spoon? Like, actually tried it. Not a fork, not a knife, but with a spoon. You can't cut it, you can't stab it. You end up having to pick up the entire thing and just like bite into it. And now it's dripping and your fingers are a mess and you need a napkin and you're annoyed. And the steak was good, but you barely got to enjoy it because the whole experience was just like a disaster. Now, imagine someone hands you a knife and a fork, okay? Imagine you have a knife and a fork and suddenly the steak experience is completely different. Bite-sized, clean. You can enjoy it. That's what AI literacy is. And most businesses right now are sitting at the table with just one tool and wondering, why does AI feel so overwhelming and messy? It's more than just what it's worth. Today, we're going to fix that. Hi, I'm Bella Vasta from Bella in Your Business. And let's get into it. Before we dive in, though, if you're finding value here on this podcast, maybe you're binging or maybe you've listened to other episodes, wherever you're listening, I really would be so grateful if you would subscribe. And maybe if there's a topic you want me to dig into, go ahead and shout me out, let me know, because I am definitely here for you. So I want to back up for a second and tell you why I'm doing this episode. In my last episode, I touched on the differences between the major AI models. And a lot of you came back with saying like you wanted more. You wanted me to go deeper. And you wanted me to explain, my real experiences and what I believe, okay? So here's what we're going to do today. And I want to be really clear about a few things before I start going through it. Number one, it's March 2026. So if you're listening to this in the future, things might have changed. They probably did change because the space is moving fast. But the basic understandings and then the strategy of what I'm about to tell you will not have changed. So what I'm about to share is accurate right now in this moment, but in 6 months from now, the actual facts may have adjusted, okay? So that's just the nature of AI. It's kind of the disclaimer in almost every single AI episode that I'm doing. Number two, these are my personal experiences, my opinions, okay? They're not sponsored recommendations, they're not political statements, and I have no axe to grind with any of these companies. And number three, this is very, very important. If you think you know what AI can do because you've been using a free version, you don't. And here's the sad truth. Not only is it not remembering things, not only is your information not secure or like private, but the free versions of the tools are also running 6 months to 12 months behind. They don't release the newest models. So what you think AI can actually do, it's actually a lot further if you're using the free models. Okay, I said all my disclaimers. Let's get into it. So let's start with ChatGPT because everyone starts here, right? It's kind of like the gateway drug. ChatGPT is the Kleenex of AI. It's the Xerox. It's the name that became the thing. When someone says, I use AI, they almost always mean ChatGPT. And look, it got us here, okay? It introduced an entire generation of business owners to what AI can do. Thanks. But I want you to think about something. Remember Yahoo? Yahoo was like the search engine, dominant everywhere. And then Google came along, and within a few years, Yahoo who? ChatGPT could very well be the Yahoo of this moment. And it doesn't mean that it's bad. It means you shouldn't assume it's the only option because it's the most famous one right now. Now, maybe ChatGPT will take it all the way to the end. Maybe it will reshape everything. Maybe it's not going to end up just being a Google. Maybe there'll be 4 Googles. Who knows? But I'm going to give you my honest take right now today. The best thing about ChatGPT is the ecosystem. It has a GPT store, which you can find and use custom-built AI tools. it has projects, it has AI agent mode, which I actually love for very specific tasks. The agent mode is where ChatGPT can go take an action for you in the least amount of like tech friction that's out there. It doesn't just answer a question, it actually can do the thing if you choose agent mode. I've done reels about this and I'll link them in the show notes, but like I've asked it to figure out like what I should buy for the week for like meal prep. It builds a grocery list. It goes into my Instacart. It orders it for me, and 2 hours later, without me having to get squirrel moments by like, oh yeah, maybe I need this and maybe I need that. And Olivia, interrupts me. I actually get it to my door in a reasonable amount of time as if I was left up to my own volition. Okay. No rabbit holes, no like, ooh, this looks good too. It's genuinely useful if you use it that way. But here's where it gets a little complicated with ChatGPT. Talking to ChatGPT sometimes feels like talking to an ADHD 5-year-old, okay? It's very enthusiastic. It's very distracted. It's very all over the place. I ask you one thing and it goes off into like a bunch of other things I can do. And recently, it started this clickbaity thing like, well, do you really want to know what most business owners do in your situation? I can tell you that too. Like, what? I didn't ask you for that, okay? And that for me is really annoying because it's hard enough to stay focused, all right? And the bigger issue is that ChatGPT or most LLMs will never tell you that it doesn't know something, okay? It'll just make up the answer, especially ChatGPT. Professionally, completely wrong. It's called hallucinating. And ChatGPT does it more than any other major model that I know. Okay, this could be really dangerous for you. You could spend hours based off of some foundation or some conversation or decision that you made that isn't even going to hold up or is true. I mean, studies have literally shown that hallucination rates across the models, they found that they can range anywhere between a few percentage to 30%. What? Depending on the task. And if the problem isn't that it's wrong, the problem is that it sounds right. It gives you a polished, confident answer, and now you trust it and share it, and it was all made up, and you feel great because finally you have an answer, but it's not really based in fact. And most business owners I know are already overwhelmed. They're already going in like 5 different directions, and the last thing they need is a tool that goes in 5 other different directions and occasionally makes stuff up. They have to question it, right? So it's great for playing around. It's great for agent tasks. It's great for the GPT store. Just go in with your eyes open, okay? Now let's talk about Claude. He's my favorite right now. I think I've asked him to marry me a couple of times, to which he said no. But I want to be upfront. Like, Claude is my daily driver right now. It's like where I actually live. The best way I can describe the difference between ChatGPT and Claude is that it's like talking to a really emotionally intelligent adult who actually listens before they respond. And then it also will stop you and ask you clarifying questions with A, B, C answers for you to choose from, or you can type in your answer. So it really helps keep you on track. And when it's not sure about something, instead of just making it up, it'll ask you most of the time. That's pretty rare. Okay, and here's something important I want to flag for everyone that uses ChatGPT and then switch to Claude. The way you talk to Claude is different than ChatGPT, okay? ChatGPT, people have gotten a lot into prompt engineering, and that's great. But that's also just generally speaking across all of the ones who I'm going to talk about today. Prompt engineering is very much 2024 and 2023, or 2025 and 2024 rather, okay? Very specific instructions, different setups, and there's a time and a place for that. But with Claude, you just need to give it your end goal and let it figure out how to get there. You don't need to say, hey, I want to go to Boston and I'll be driving and I want to stop 4 times and I need to avoid tolls. You just say, hey, I'm going to Boston as fast as possible, and it works out. Over-prompting Claude actually limits it. You end up building guardrails without realizing it. Claude is also exceptional at 2 specific things for that matter for small business owners. One is coding, which you might think, I don't need to code. Yeah, you do. When you went to go update your website and something broke, that's code, okay? If you need to build something built, a workflow, a tool, anything tech, Claude is where I would go. The second thing is working inside of documents. I can take a screenshot directly inside of Claude without having to download it to my desktop and then upload it into Claude. It sounds small, but it's not. That friction kills productivity, not to mention I'm constantly dumping everything into my recycle bin and like trying to like not keep it all on my computer weighing it down. And there's also a whole enterprise side to Claude that bigger organizations are building on. But for the everyday small business owner listening to this podcast, you're just trying to work smarter, right? Claude is definitely where I would send you. That's where I'm at. All right. Speaking of working smarter, if you're trying to figure out which AI tool to even start with, I want to make the decision really easy for you. Magi. Go to jumpconsulting.net/MAGAI to get 30% off your first 3 months. That is $14 a month, okay? Inside Magi gives you access to every single AI model, and the image tools all in one place for less than the cost of one model, okay? It's a really great playground for you to go and test things out side by side and see how they are without having to have all those different logins and all those different memberships. So if you're not sure where to start and you just want to get in the playground and just play, remember that's how we learned as kids, by just playing in the sandbox. That's where I would send you. All right, back to the models. The next one I want to talk about is Gemini. Gemini is Google's model, and honestly, I don't use it the same way I use Claude or ChatGPT. Gemini shines when it's the native integration for the Google Workspace. And most business owners I know already have Google Workspace, okay? It was amazing the way it was just baked in because they just added it to what their customers were already using, Workspace, and now all of a sudden I've got Gemini. I don't even have to think about going and signing up for it because I'm already kind of paying for it. I am, by my own admission, like spreadsheet illiterate, okay? So when I need a spreadsheet to do something, I ask Gemini because it's right there. It's like top right corner, that little diamond. I don't have to export anything or copy and paste. It's just there. And the same thing with Gmail. If I'm drafting an email and I want to clean it up or make it sound better, there's a button right inside my Gemini that will send it directly to my email. And again, I don't have to waste time copying it, pasting it, changing the formatting, making sure that when I send it, it doesn't look like different size fonts where people are like, oh, you used AI, right? It's really, really easy. There's so much less friction. And if you live in Google Workspace, the way a lot of small business owners do, Gemini makes your existing tools smarter without making your workflow more complicated. They also have VO, which are, you get like 3 like cinematic professional videos a day. And these videos are dope. They are amazing, okay? And also Nano Banana, you get unlimited Nano Bananas, and that image model is also amazing. I will often make images in Nano Banana because it's just so good, okay? So far we've got like ChatGPT, we've got Claude, we've got Gemini, okay? Now this might feel like a lot to you, but just play. It's just starting. Now I want to talk about 2 others that not a lot of people talk about. First is Perplexity, and the next one's going to be Grok. So Perplexity is different from everything else I've talked about, and I want you to understand why. Perplexity is not a chatbot. It's a search engine that actually thinks. What? Yeah, think about Google as like a librarian who points you to the right shelf. Perplexity is a knowledgeable friend who actually reads all the books and then can tell you exactly what you need to know with receipts, like citations, okay? Every answer comes with cited sources that you can click and verify yourself. So here's why small business owners specifically need to know about Perplexity. First, research. Instead of opening up 10 different browsers and trying to synthesize information yourself, Perplexity does all of that in seconds. Seconds, okay? Competitor research. How do you stack up against the competitors? Local market trends. What people are asking about in your industry, in your area. Quick and cited, okay? This is like Google search come alive. The second thing is checking to see how AI sees your business. And this is huge, you guys. Huge, okay? You can type in your business name, service into Perplexity and see what AI is talking about you. Are you showing up? Are you being recommended? It's called AI search visibility. And it is becoming more important than Google right now. Perplexity is processing over 780 million searches a month, and that number is climbing fast. Third, keyword and content research, not just Google keywords, AI search keywords. the questions people are asking in AI are slightly different than what they're typing into Google. In Google, we're thinking, okay, 2, 3, maybe 4 words, maybe a question. In AI, they're talking and they're filibustering and they're typing and typing and typing their question. They're just like going on and on and on and on and on. Okay, it's very different. Perplexity shows you what those look like in real time. And this is why I've been so focused on making sure that my website and my content comes up in AI. As I mentioned earlier, I got 2 leads in one day. I've been getting leads trickling, but there was one day this past week that I got 2 leads in one day. And they said they found me on ChatGPT, okay? Because of the work I've been doing with this. And Perplexity is part of that equation. This should not be lost on any of you small businesses. This is valuable information. This is not theory. This is actually happening right now. And you or your competitor, or better yet, you know who's actually going to be doing this and has done this? It's Rover, it's WAG, it's all the national organizations, it's those really big companies with all that money to spend. It's the tech companies that are going to beat out the smaller mom and pops unless you outsmart them. And you can, and you should. And I encourage you to ask how. All right, the last one, Grok. And I'm going to talk about something that I need to make sure I get right, because I've heard a couple of people get this wrong on other podcasts, and I don't want to be that person. Every AI model has something called a knowledge cutoff, and the date is a date where like the training data stops. After that date, the model doesn't know what happened. As of March 2026, most models are trained up through late 2024 or 2025, depending on the version. So if you ask AI what's happening in the news right now, most of them don't actually know in their brain. They might have a tool that searches the web, so you could do web search. You could turn that on. But that's a different thing from actually knowing. Grok is made by xAI, which is Elon's company, and it's deeply integrated into X, formerly Twitter, okay? Yes, Grok has access to real-time information from X's platform. That's the genuine differentiator. But this is the correction I want to make really clear. Grok is not the only model with access to current information anymore. ChatGPT has web browsing, Claude has web search tools, Gemini pulls from Google's real-time index, and Perplexity is built on a live web search from the ground up, okay? The difference is how they do it and how much you trust the workflow. Grok's real-time strength is specifically around social media conversation and breaking news on X. For general business use, the others have largely caught up on web access, okay? So Grok is also known for, let's say, a lack of guardrails. It's more willing to go places that other models won't. And I'll kind of leave it at that. You can fill in the blanks. Some people love that, and some people find it problematic. I'll let you make your call on that one. All right, so let's bring this back to the steak. Now you understand why you need a knife, a fork, and a spoon. Yeah, my podcast producer is going to have quite the day with me. He's going to be like, what are you doing? Yes. ChatGPT is your fork, okay? It's great for getting things done, playing around, fact-checking. Claude is your knife, precise, thoughtful, does the heavy lifting very cleanly. Gemini is your spoon, right there inside your Google world. Perplexity is probably, the sommelier who tells you exactly what you're looking for and shows you the receipts, right? Like, I want this kind of wine or this kind of flavor. And Grok is the person at the next table who knows all the gossip and isn't afraid to say it. You guys, come on. Are you having as much fun as I am? Like, this podcast is great. You don't have to master all of them, okay? But knowing that that's out there and not just being a ostrich with your head in the sand, like, that's my intent for you today. I don't expect you to go out and get a membership or a subscription to all of them. I don't even expect you to go out and get Magi unless you really want to go and figure it out. But I do want my jumpers to know about it at least, okay? And an action that I want you to take this week is maybe just take 20 minutes, that's it, and go investigate one of them that you maybe haven't yet, all right? If you want to go deeper on this without feeling completely overwhelmed, the Jumpers Mastermind is where I get to do this work every single week with business owners. Monday through Friday is where I get to do this work. And I have 2 live sessions on screen a month where we talk about normal business stuff, but AI is always integrated into it. It's always the thread that holds the conversation together, okay? And everyone in there gets a free 20-minute call with me, like on screen, where I coach you on a specific thing. The difference between that and someone cold is someone cold, we're just generally talking about stuff. We have no history and things. In the mastermind, you have your own thread where you have your own goals that we track. And we like, there's history. I know where you're at in your business because we've created a relationship. And so that's where those quick trainings come in, okay? Plus there's 8 years of archives, hiring, marketing, AI, numbers, operations. It all started in 2018. And we have over 300 HR questions that's in this massive spreadsheet that you can go directly to the answer on camera from an HR specialist, okay? Any business owner is absolutely welcome. It's not just only for the pet industry anymore. So head over to jumpconsulting.net/mastermind if you're interested. And if this hits for you, share with another business owner who might need to hear this. And as always, jumpers, when life gets you down, always keep jumping. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.